Hello friend, how are you? Welcome to Tripan Study Center. Today we are going to do the chapter of social science and highlighting each and every point of it. Let's see what is our topic today. Changes in a federal economics is a prosperity and increase of medieval Europe here. There is the most important topic here. We have just finished in reading about there are various aspects of the federal system, but this system is remained the same throughout the medieval periods here, and it not at all. Indeed, it is the federal system was not a static system. It's a witnessed a several change and the federal economics is undergone a pattern of prosperity and a crisis. Let's trace of the pattern for a beginning here. The few centuries is after the collapse of the Roman Empire were marked by the low level of economical life. As we already know, this was also a period of political changes and turmoil. There was a decline in the town life and trade and military exchange. Some cities survived from a Roman day, but these were only empty cells which had no real economical role. The road are deteriorated and batteries is widely replaced their use of money. European economics has a base almost entirely on the agriculture and very limited local trade here. The main economics until was their self-sufficient as landed state are the federal manners that we have read about. Technology in agriculture was backward and the agricultural yards were low. And this condition is latest till about the 10th century AD. After the 10th century, the federal system of production underwent a significant change. There was an increasing in agriculture field as the system became more and more stable. Another factor that has helped in the increasing of agriculture productivity at this time was a significant improvement in agriculture techniques. A new plugin and the reduce which was heavier had a wheels and was driven by a teams of oxen, and this helped in cultivating their heavy and strictly soil and northern Europe more effectively. Agriculture was later replaced by the three-field system in which 1/3 of the land was left a fallow, 1/3 was used for cultivating autumn's crop and 1/3 for the spring crop. By the leaving only a third part of the land fallow, there is a three-field system helped greatly in increasing the cropped area. The new plunging three-field system and other inventions in the agriculture techniques are helping in increasing the agriculture yards by several times. Along with the expansion in agriculture, the period from the 10th to the 12th century also is a witness the revivals of trade and the growth of town life. Trade ranged from the small trade at a local market, where is a peasant means farmers sold their excess as a grain and eggs, and about a long distance trade product like a wine and cotton. Improvement in the road and the building helped a road or transport. A revival and the sea routes where is also used for a trade. The revival in the trade is made as necessary new pattern of payment since the bat rate was the inadequate for this purpose. As a result, many economics made a taxes advance and this led to agriculture prosperity of the surrounding rural area. The town soon began to specialize in the content enterprise. As one of these was the cloth making, which became one of the most important industry of these towns. Guilds has become important and both merchant activities and craft production come to be organized around guilds. This medieval town continued to grow important and ultimately becomes an important factor in the breakdown of federal relation of countryside. That is important. Tendency of toward growth reached the limit by the end of the 12th century. Unsignificant change could be noticed in the federal system by the 13th century. which witness a reversal of the process of growth, the period of economic growth and their prosperity resulting in the rise of population. This meant on increasing in a supply of the labor for the landlord, and they therefore no longer found it necessary to return there is a dimensions. All due to abundant labor service technology found a few is an investor. As the demand says land where is gone there needed to be estate left by a service from the a farmer also is want. The direction is a labor service as a technological nations of agriculture together with other factor brought is down agriculture yard very sharply. The food storage and famines is began to be occur. Epidemics of plague is a breakout in this time. All this resulted in our all is a decline in their agriculture economics, whereas our growth of money, economics, and urban center and trade. However, European society was able to be overcome this crisis and more easily than to the pre-10th century crisis, and by around 1450 their economical started moving to about to the recovery. We now have some idea about the condition in which the people as Middle Europe lived here. We have also been able to be trace the pattern of change in this condition over a period of several countries. How did this change in the materials condition affect the society and culture of Middle Europe here? Let us see for the ourselves here. Give the relative low level of economics life in the period before the 10th century, we should be not a surprise to be now that if was not a prosperous time for a learning of the art. During this period, a learning remaining a privilege of the few. The masses have received no formal education. In fact, the language of learning was Latin, which was now only to be presently class. However, even there is a little bite of education was a very narrow kind. It consisted of mostly of memorizations without any reasoning of the questioning. All the learning was dominated by the blind faith. In such a condition, naturally there was hardly on the a development in the science, and there was some attempt at the revival, but even this did not be result in any real intellectually is a creativity. However, there is educated members of the precisely and monastic order did try to be recopy and reverse some major work of the Roman literature. This at least of serve as the basis of the revolts of learning that began in the 11th and 12th centuries. This period was of very little significant production in the area of literature because of the low level of literacy in this time. The same in the case with the athletics productions in the period. However, a unique style, the development in this field was that of manuscript or intellections, and on the wall it may be a said that is a period of cultural attainment was the mineral of surface. European civilization at this time was a much backward and comparisons with the other is a contemporaries in the warrings and civilization like Byzantines and the Islamic world here. The propensity and relative peace of the period from the 12th century, the both about the consequent change in the cultural life of the period. And this period is a witness rise in the literacy with the spirit of primary education and the opening of universities, and there was attempt at the questionings of the classical knowledge as well as a knowledge from the Arab civilization. And thus the period was a progress in a knowledge and thought in Europe. It was an important step toward the intellectually the flowering that took place during the modern period.